He went to which link or Lamar? You guys all can come in. Hey, wait, it says we are already live on Facebook. Let's go and check. Are we live?
I'm not seeing anything.
You're not seeing? What just happened?
Okay, we are live on Facebook.
Are we live on Facebook?
We are live on Facebook.
Yeah, Manfred's coming in.
Okay. We are live on Facebook.
Okay, so
okay, Manfred is coming in.
Copy link.
Awesome.
Yeah, update the LinkedIn fans.
Okay, I think we're gonna do this quickly. And Andrew, I mean not Andrew, Manfred, you do your introduction. Okay, and let me go and share this to my YouTube channel first.
Okay.
And so we haven't been doing this on Zoom for the longest time.
Have we used Zoom before?
Yes, we did once.
In one of especially in this kind of weird situation, at least twice I think. So we used Zoom before. So I hope we are live. And
we are live. We are live. And Chiwa is already telling us that we are live. We want people to pin comment, and I'm just gonna like say hi. And we're seeing Chiwa here. You know, thank you for letting us know that we are like live over here. This is very interesting.
I am doing my job as usual, the worst introduction ever by I need to repeat myself twice tonight. So hopefully I don't use back the same words. I think I met Nizar coming to 10 years. It was extremely, I shall put this, it's a pleasure to meet him. If I say know him, I would always love to invite him for a cup of coffee to learn more from him, because he's such a knowledgeable person who's willing to share, and we exchange a lot of ideas, and there's so much learning. That's all I want to say. And he's really into Google Analytics, Google Data Studio, which he will cover later today. So we have some minor arguments here and there, but in a very good manner.
You always go and argue people.
It's good. It's a good argument, very constructive.
Specialists also, you want to argue, walao.
It's good. It's all good.
Yeah, I'm taking too much time. We are already late for the show.
No, it's okay.
17 minutes, okay. Nowhere else to go.
86.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, thank you so much for the intro, Manfred, as usual. But yeah, it actually worked because you were talking about the argument, which is good. But then we want to actually invite Nizar to share with us in your own words. You know, what do you do? And well, kind of like apart from however Manfred was sharing just now, right? Maybe you can actually share your side of the story instead.
Likewise, man, guys. Thank you so much for coming, for inviting me over again for this really great talk show. Always a pleasure to be in a company of very, very knowledgeable persons.
Thank you so much for joining us.
I have very great domain expertise, and I'm very, very blessed and honored to be in here, right? And likewise, what Manfred mentioned, we always get into great conversations, not just with Manfred, but with all three of you guys, right? So it's something really interesting, and I really enjoy doing this. Basically, what I do is, again, just a little quick brief about what I do and what I love is basically I love data, anything to do with numbers, graphs, visualizations. That's something which I really, really enjoy. Basically, my day job is I run an agency, and I have another hat which I usually use for my data analyst / engineer, scientist, whatever titles which they come up. But more often than not, it all boils down to one thing: how do we understand our customers better through data? So those are the things which I actually help do my clients work for them also. Yeah, so that's a little bit about what exactly I do in my day job.
A little bit means actually a little bit deeper, you know, a lot deeper if we were to actually look at that. But seriously, Nizar is the real deal, like how Chiwai puts it. You know, he shared with us last time talking about, you know, Google Analytics, and now talk about Google Data Studio, which is something I totally have no idea. So basically, what we are expecting to learn tonight is really something very serious. And Nizar uses Google Data Studio to help his client really understand, like what he said, the customer behavior and all this data they can actually help make business decision. So remember, as we move along, we have a few questions plotted up that we want to get some suggestions and answers from Nizar. But then again, if you have any questions, feel free to pop in the chat. I will not be able to pin your chat because now we are using Zoom to go live, but nonetheless, we are going to read out your questions over here. And like Chiwa is saying, today he's going to talk about the part you hate the most about Google advertising, which is Google Data Studio, right? Now, before like CY hijacked the thing, which he's really good at. Sorry, because he will get questions coming in, very interesting questions. So we love that anyway. So, but before that, let's help us understand, Nizar, for noobs like me, who have never used Google Data Studio, what really is Google Data Studio?
So in the gist, Google Data Studio is a visualization tool, right? It basically helps visualize all our data. In fact, you can visualize anything, right? And right now it's all in the reach. How do you actually visualize data so that you can make actionable insights, right? So Google Data Studio actually has that feature, and that's its main capability of visualizing data in a very easy and compelling manner, right? Most importantly, guys, and this is the kicker, it's free, right? Unlike the other data visualization platforms out there, Google made it free for all of us. So that's something really interesting. When I stumbled upon it, it wasn't very long, actually. It was in, I think, 2017, 2018, when I stumbled upon this visualization tool called Google Data Studio, or GDS in short. And I was mucking around with it, and I was like, hey, this sounds very interesting, because I'm able to identify that specific metrics which is relevant to me. Because so far, all the other platforms I'm using, they'll give us a plethora of metrics. So I get confused. So which one shall I be looking at? What's the main thing? So with Google Data Studio, I have the power to create or to choose what metrics I can see. That's the first. Secondly, that the fact that it can be able to connect to all my sources, like my Google Ads, my Facebook Insights, Instagram Insights, Twitter, TikTok, the whole works, right? The whole 9 yards, right? That makes it even easier for my reporting purposes, because I've always drilled to my staff or my team members that, hey, we should spend less time formatting, but more time analyzing, right? So how do we go about doing that? That's when a data visualization tool like Google Data Studio comes in a perfect unity and motion, where we're able to use it, understand it, visualize it, and then create fantastic and compelling data stories for our clients, right? So that's the power of Google Data Studio. It's something where we all, so far, it's been ingrained in most of my clients, right? So whenever we don't actually give out anymore, hardly give out reports and spreadsheets and PowerPoints, we just tell them, hey guys, check out this dashboard. That's your dashboard, customized for you. It's very specific metrics. Have a look at it, and then we're able to see, and we will talk through it, right? So it's more like it's a very much two-way conversation, where whenever we have our cadence meetings, we just fire up that dashboard and say, okay, guys, check out this spike, or check out this downline trend, what's happening. So we're able to understand the why. So instead of us formatting and trying our very best to figure out where exactly to pull the data, everything is visualizing that. So that's what Google Data Studio is. It literally brings different sets of information into one place. So,
what data can you pump into GDS?
Oh, it's quite everything. All of Google's products, you're able to, in fact, most of it, most of the Google data products.
Google Search Console also can pump.
Sorry?
Google Search Console?
Yes, you can. That's something really interesting.
All the Google products,
My Business.
And all the other products like Facebook Ads, Facebook Insights, the social products, HR products, financial tools, even Excel spreadsheets, where you have tons and tons of Excel spreadsheets. You want to help visualize it? Yes, Excel has some really great visualization tools. But if you want to make it, and you want to pump it out and combine it with your other data sets, which all these data visualization tools are very good at, to combine all these data sets into one, that's when GDS comes in. So you're able to pull all this information inside. And one of the best things, if you have to pull in using Google Data Studio with Google products, it's free for the connectors, right? That's the best part. Everything is free from end to end, right? So let's, for instance, you would like to see Google Analytics and Google Ads, right? So instead of going into two different platforms to look into your information, to get your analytics and insights, you can combine them together.
Wow.
And everything is done in a very methodical manner, which you choose for yourself or even for your clients, right? So you're able to literally see, oh, when I spend this amount of money, this is my conversions, all in one single page, right? So how great is that for the marketers? It really cuts down a lot of their formatting times. They're able to make very specific and very fast decisions based on this, right?
Can we say that this is actually a reporting tool? Sorry, Manfred, you keep your question.
Yeah, yes, we can.
It's a reporting tool, right?
Yeah, definitely a reporting tool.
But it's not a conventional kind of reporting tool that you generate report for, like whatever format. It's just like to print it out. It's more
live
like you share the whole
reporting tool.
thing. It's
That's
like
a
the
very
dash.
good question, Jason, because you
Yeah.
know what? This tool will allow you to do that also. In case can I download it to a PDF? Yes, you can. Can I export it out? Can I share it? So like as all on Google products, you're able to do all those elements inside. So they cater to those kind of people who are like, just can I have a PDF? Can I have a specific schedule reporting? It's fine. You can able to do that, and the system allows you to do that, right? It's very shareable. And one of the great things about having a dashboard, not only on desktop, it's extremely mobile responsive also. So you're able to just bring the information there. Okay, that's what it is. So you don't have to like call up your clients or agency like, hey, how's the campaign performing, right? And then everything's all there, right? So everything is literally on your fingertips,
Only
right?
got a problem with this thing is.
1 second, guys. Can somebody check if we are live on Facebook? Please.
Yeah, we are live on Facebook.
We are live, right? I just want to make sure because on my side I can't see.
I see.
I didn't check. Someone check
YouTube is not. It's
No,
not.
it's
As long
only
as you
on
can
Facebook.
see it on Facebook, then fine. YouTube.
I can see you moving, but I don't know
You can
whether
see us
it's
moving
delayed.
because I was actually looking at my screen.
Let's try this. Let's see.
It froze up a little bit. Then I was like, holy freak! Are we going like off again? So you guys go in and check.
Okay.
It's a lag of roughly 3-4 seconds.
3-4
seconds is fine. I just want to make sure that we are damn there. Are we there?
Facebook, we are on Facebook.
Otherwise, are you recording this?
It's not a recorded. I did not record. That's why it's live. Then I'm just gonna capture there. Okay. Guys, can I
ask a question?
Yeah, please. You ask question. But before that, guys, if you guys can see us and hear us loud and clear and really moving, not like zombie and all that, say hi so that we know that everything is there. Like, okay. TY is saying that my audio doesn't sync with the video. Holy, that's why. What the? Anyway, it's not. I make sure I don't talk a lot. It's really Nizar's show. But Manfred, your question.
So, Nizar, I have been using the new GA4.
Yes.
So GA4 for me to monitor the user to see who is contributing the channels. So I'm in a way happy lah. Ignorantly blessed lah. So can you tell me what am I missing out if I don't use Google Data Studio? So basically, whoever uses GA4 should upgrade to GDS, right?
Yes and no, Manfred, to be honest with you, right? Because GA4 has a really great visualization tool built in already. So if you look into their homepage, you're able to see and you're able to customize your metrics really in that arena. But what you are missing out, if let's say if you want to look into GDS, because it works together, is that you're able to pull other sources. So which means, let's say if I run a campaign, right, on Google Ads or even on Facebook Ads for that matter, you're able to pull that data out and plug it into GDS along with the GA4 also. So on your left-hand side, you're able to see where your traffic is coming in. On your right-hand side, you're able to see what the traffic is, how the traffic is performing on the website itself using the GA4 metrics. So you're able to combine them together, right? So it can work on both ways. It's supposed to complement with whatever you have right now, especially that scenario you just mentioned, right? So it's more for us to, again, pull the data sets all into one unifying place, and then you can able to see everything in one single picture.
So, do you have any idea what's the adoption rate of GDS now globally? Any data?
Adoption rate. He's asking about adoption rate.
Adoption rate.
Yeah.
I've seen more and more of my peers using GDS. I mean, they don't just restrict themselves to GDS itself. They're dabbling in Tableau. Yeah. So I dabble. I mean, I have some of my clients are using Power BI because they are using on a global perspective. So we also do a lot of Power BI work also.
Wow.
But this is another story for another day, right?
Yep.
But in that sense, I'm seeing the adoption rate quite a big. It's also because of the fact that I could see that Google is giving more and more frequent updates on Google Data Studio also, right? So in 2018, when I first used it, there's a lot of restrictions. But right now, I can say that it's quite robust in that sense. It's a lot more things you're able to do. You're able to do computational analysis. You're able to mix the metrics together. There are more sources for you to actually play with, right? So those are the things which I'm seeing, which I feel that if there is not much users, Google will not be spending a lot of love for it, right? So I guess when there's more users coming in, Google start to spend more time making it into an even sharper product.
Can you imagine the amount of data that's going into Google?
Yeah, it's going into them, right? But then again, Manfred, you keep your question. I want to raise one question. Yeah. Because Nizar have been emphasizing about, you're able to put all the data into one place to analyze. But can Google Data Studio allow us to see the omni-channel movement of users? There is one thing Facebook tried to do.
Mm-hmm.
They tried to allow us, they tried to build something called, there's this Facebook analytics. There's this thing called Facebook analytics that they actually tried to create a place where they will track the movement, as in like if a person come into Facebook and then they went somewhere else, and then they actually saw your Google ads and they come back in, they are able to do the attribution back to the right source, as in how these people started. Where is he? I mean, did he start
the journey?
Yes.
The journey, yeah.
They tried that, but they discontinued the whole product already. So my question here is, are we able to see the omni-channel user movement?
If you have the right metrics, yes, you can. Right. So the question is also the data connectors, right? So some of the data connectors that I mentioned just now, if it's free, it's from Google itself, right? But the third-party connectors, the data connectors, basically that bridge between your GDS and that source file, right? Usually you have to pay for it. It's actually a monthly subscription or you pay one time off, right? But what happens is this third-party data connector companies, they're able to extrapolate or extract all these metrics from that particular, let's say for instance, Facebook Insights. As long as Facebook Insights allow you to give them that metrics, which you can see on the native platform itself, more often than not, you're able to replicate that and choose the metrics to be put on GDS. In the event which you just mentioned, if they have that particular attribution metric in there, you are more often than not be able to pull in that specific attribution metric inside your GDS. And thereafter, you're able to combine it and create a story, like how exactly, okay, because of this particular metric, then it actually affects in this particular metric for that particular platform, right? So you are able to do it, but also it's dependent on that source itself, right? If Facebook or even like Instagram or other platforms, right, allows that metrics to be shared, then it's okay. If not, you can't, because it's also dependent on the source itself.
Yeah. Right. I think I used the wrong term. It should be cross-platform, instead of omni-channel. That will be the right platform. Cross-platform attribution. I think thanks for sharing this, because really that's something that a lot of people want. Okay, and I believe, as you mentioned just now, hold that, Manfred. I want to actually do this shout out to if anyone needs help, because this is very important. If you are running a lot of activities digitally and you want to really map the user journey, now you know that it's possible using Google Data Studio with the right tools and the right expertise. So if you want to if you need help, okay, I won't be able to pin the link up right now, but all you need to do is just go over to LinkedIn, okay, and look for Nizar. All right, look for Nizar on LinkedIn with that handsome face over there. Just connect with him and eventually ask for his help. Like Manfred say, he can be bribed over a coffee. I don't think we don't bribe people over a coffee.
I didn't say bribe.
Yeah, man, so cheap.
Just kidding. Basically, his company does that.
Wait.
Seriously, that's a very important tool you need to have.
So much thing to learn from him. No?
Exactly. This guy is like a whole dictionary over there. But then again, we take one step at a time.
Here's another angle. If you really want to come across as being super smart, then you better make friends with our friend.
Always
have this conversation and people
guys,
what the hell is this?
Better than you, then you can improve. So one question, one observation.
Yes,
I was having coffee with another friend.
Hey.
He was sharing with me, Salesforce, HubSpot. It's just a couple, male and female, always got quarrel, cannot integrate properly, cannot talk properly. So you need the Google Data Studio to present the thing. So you can also use so I'm right to say that you can use it for Salesforce and HubSpot.
Yes, you can. As long as it's API, it doesn't even have to be restricting to all these social platforms. There's so many platforms out there, even social listening tools. As long as you have an API, which is coming out from that source platform which you want, you can even build, obviously with the help of a developer, a custom data connector for Google Data Studio, right? So any platforms you have, you can just plug it in. Even I'm also seeing trends like the cryptocurrency guys coming up to me and saying, can you build up some of these trading dashboards, because we want to see some of these elements here, how exactly the modeling is like. I said, sure, man, no problem, right? As long as they have an API coming out, we can build a custom data connector to start to pull the data insight into Google Data Studio. And then we choose the metrics we want, and then boom, it will appear from there. And then you're able to advise what sort of visualizations you want. Is it a line chart? Is it a pie chart or whatever not, right? And so forth, right? So it all really depends on actually, to be honest, your imagination, right? Literally,
Normally, people always think it's either Facebook or Google, but you can go beyond that.
But
But
it's
coming to
so
the
much
gist
more
of the
than
question is that a lot of time people who are an analyst, they have bias and they put the thing inside there. They tell a story, but normally stories are made because you have a certain bias, you have certain background, and you tend to see things in a certain manner. For example, certain rich people will always want to spend more money on certain things.
Yeah.
Okay, then your analysis might be skewed to one side. Am I correct to say this?
Yeah, so that's why it's also important.
It's just a tool only, by the way.
That's correct, my friend. So that's also a very important, a very great question you just asked, right? Because of the fact that when we want to start and embark on any dashboarding design or dashboarding exercise with our clients, one of the first things we always ask them is, what is your key business objective, right? And then thereafter, once we've looked into that KPI, that key performance index, then we look at what metric supports that. So in the end, it actually eliminates all this biasness. And obviously, there's some biasness because of the fact that how the clients are actually in tune towards whatever is keeping them awake at night and whatever is driving their bottom line. But ultimately, what we are trying to do is we're not trying to plug in as many metrics as we can. We will always use this, what we call the MRMS, most relevant metric stack. And we'll choose at least about 3 or 4 metrics, very important metrics, which you literally can able to sustain or actually increase or decrease your bottom lines right under that level, right? So we will choose for them and everything, and we'll help them what we call the metrics diagnosis. We will look into that. Okay, guys, this is what exactly you guys are trying to achieve. What metric supports this, right? Thereafter, it kind of eliminates as much as we can. No, I mean, we all design with cognitive bias, right? But as much as we can, we try to be very, very, how shall I say, as objective as possible when it comes to this, right? Okay, let's say, what exactly are you trying to achieve here? Once we have that, then we're able to build that story.
So can I give you a very simple business objective, which most people will cover around is, I want to increase my revenue and see what else am I missing out? Say example, maybe I'm not doing enough marketing or something like that. I want to know my blind spot and yet increase my business revenue. So this is a very straightforward business objective. Are you able to elaborate more in this kind of scenario for us?
Sure.
You see, that's where all the argument comes in, you see, to and fro.
Yeah.
Sparring.
I mean, let's try. Since you talk about sparring, I would like to actually contribute from another angle. I think, you see, if you ask this question, right, you might be putting Nizar in a very difficult situation because we don't even know which platform you're already working on.
Oh, I see.
You get what I mean or not?
Yeah.
Like if you're not running Google Ads, I can't be plugging the number. But can I ask the question? Let me try. Manfred, correct me if I'm wrong. Can I actually say that, can you come in and look at my data, look at my current advertising channels and performance, and see which channel can I optimize further to make more money and to increase my revenue? Is it possible?
It is. And that's the whole reason why we want to put all our the sources, or what we call the traffic generators, into one single sheet, right? Or one single sheet that we can able to see what exactly is giving us the most ROAS, what's giving us the most ROI, and how is that being affected our conversion, our landing pages, or whatever goals or what they call for GA4 events which you want to achieve in that particular campaign or in that particular period, right? So with that, we're able to also understand what the gaps are, right? So we have to say, okay, you know what, guys, since we're putting monies across all 3 of these channels, only 2 of them is giving us really good performance metrics in that particular platform, but at the same time, are they giving us that right ROAS when it comes to the conversions, right? That is the part where I think for us to visualize it in a much easier manner, we're able to see it how exactly, because you know how when it comes to campaign optimization, media spending, right? You can literally turn it on and off just like that, right? So that's all the things which we want them to have. So it becomes is the tool which makes it look like as if it's a speedometer. Remember that speedometer theory which I've told you guys about, that the analogy?
Yep.
The minute it goes up, you quickly let go of your brake pedal. The minute it goes down, you increase your accelerator. That's what we want to have to achieve, right? Rather than going to different platforms, trying to find different modes, right? And one thing interesting, a phenomenon which I also noticed is that a lot of my clients, once they achieved this, they decided to make it into a TV dashboard, which basically means everyone who comes in on very specific elements, like say they want to create a sales figure or some of their campaigns running, they will have some of the TVs, big screen TVs are quite cheap right now. They will just project it all out there so that the staff who needs to see it, we're able to understand, okay, you know what, we're getting good stuff. Hey, check it out. It's coming down now. Why? So in a way, it also keeps everyone on the toes.
Yes.
I've seen those kind of stuff, right? Banks love it, FYI.
Yeah, I believe so.
Love it, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Okay, now quick question from Richard. Let me bring it up first. Guys, if you have any questions, feel free to pop in the comment. We are not able to pin your comment because now we are using Zoom to broadcast, but nonetheless, I'll be able to read it out. Now, Richard is asking, what's your recommendation? Because he said he tried Super Base, but somehow they are missing things. I have no idea what is that. You know, does it make sense to you, Nizar?
Super
SUPABASE, Super Base.
Is that right? That's the right spelling?
Okay,
Yeah.
if you're not familiar, then we can actually...
To be honest, yeah, I'm not familiar with that. Is it a visualization tool? I'm not
sure.
Open source Firebase alternative.
I see. No, I'm not familiar with that.
We're not familiar. We're not familiar.
What exactly? Maybe you can ask Richard. What exactly?
What kind of recommendation you want? But nonetheless, Nizar is not familiar with Super Base, Richard. Just to quickly let you know.
It's just another tool.
Yeah. Okay. Now I want to route this question to the one of a plotted question that we have. One of a question we have over here, which is we keep talking about Google Data Studio and Google Analytics GA4. It sounds similar, but definitely different. So what's really the main differences between these two tools, right?
In a gist again, GA or Google Analytics, what they call the new Google Analytics 4, is predominantly a web analytics tool, right? So it's supposed to helps us understand our customers better, increase the ROI on marketing strategies, basically tracking and collecting visitors' information
on your website.
Yes, that's correct. Be it app, be it website. Now that GA4 can able to extend it to apps also. So it's all those, the whole thing. So they're more collecting information so that we can able to optimize our website better or our app, right? So that's for GA, right? Google Data Studio, on the other hand, is more to visualize your data, right? So what it does is this. Yes, you might say that, hey, Nizar, but GA4 also helps visualize the data. It does. But if you don't have any data source on Google Data Studio,
mainly one data source.
if you don't have any data source, you can't see anything. It's literally a blank screen. So you got to pull out all the data source. You got to understand and also figure out which data source is good enough for you, right? So let's say for that matter, GA4, you have like 10 or 15 on the dashboard itself, right? So you just want 2 or 3 so that you can able to combine it with other data sources. Then Google Data Studio will suffice for that particular matter. So technically, it wants a visualization tool which you're able to combine all of your visuals and your data together in one place, whereas the other is more on collecting your data. It's an analytics, web analytics tool. Yeah, that's what GA4 is.
Yes, Manfred.
So for the ease of everyone, is there a comparable product for Google Data Studio out in the market? Anything that is similar in nature?
Most definitely. So, I mean, again, we have been working with Power BI, right, from Microsoft.
Yeah.
So that's something which is a very, very good visualization tool also. Again, they have their pros and cons, right?
But that's not free, right?
Yeah, one of the things is not free, right? But they are also very robust, right? I wouldn't say they are better in that sense, right? Because more often than not, we have achieved very, very good deliverables and outputs from each of them, even Tableau for that matter, right? If you see a lot of the big companies especially, they love Tableau also, right?
Tableau.
Tableau. So Tableau has some really great way of making data very, very beautiful, right? But at the same time, also there's a lot of thought being into it. It's and like all good softwares, it always have a very good, interesting. I will not say a very steep learning curve, but interesting learning curve, right? You need to add in a little bit of resources to understand how it works. You need to have a little bit of a design flair to understand which visualization works well, right? So Power BI, Tableau, GDS, they're all in the same family of that final mile of reporting, final mile of visualization, right? Yeah, that's correct.
So I'm curious also, let's go one step further down the question. So obviously Power BI and Tableau has been around for many years, and people who use this are heavily analysts. I also know some analysts, they are really well versed in this. The question comes is, we are mostly, whoever watching this is also, mostly are digital marketeers. So for the past donkey years, Google never served such a need for dashboarding. So there has been a vacuum for so many years.
Yeah.
Everybody thought GA4 or GA Universal Analytics is sufficient.
Yeah.
So am I right? Did it say that this portion for dashboarding is not been the needs of digital marketing? They don't even know there's a need for it.
In fact, there was a very, how shall I say, a very interesting way, because of the fact that even before Universal Analytics, they already have a sort of very similar looking GDS built in, where you're able to do report building, right? So you're able to do your own reports, right? In that particular manner. So what Google did was they take that element out, right? And then they create a separate software called GDS, and they're also able to pull all the other data sources in it, right? So in a way, there was how shall I say, like the pre-GDS way before, when we go using Universal Analytics, right? When we're using Google Analytics, when you do the report building, you're able to customize your own dashboards, right? Because we do see elements of all of those when we start to doing so, because it becomes very familiar. Like, hey, wait a minute, I've done this before. Oh, okay, it used to be in, or it was still in being in.
So in a way, if we are familiar with the Universal Analytics, the GA, we won't find it very difficult to navigate through GTS in a way.
Yes, even the new GA4, so it has some really robust ways.
Right. Something that we are totally new. But before we go further, let me actually do this quick shout out again about Nizar. If you guys need help visualizing the data for all your marketing activities out there into one place using GDS, Google Data Studio, to understand which one is working better, you have to talk to Nizar. Okay, the best way is to go over to LinkedIn and look for Nizar and basically, just connect with him and start talking.
His link is in the comment section, so you can just
his name is there. I mean, Andrew has already helped us put in the comment. So you guys can go over and connect with him on LinkedIn. Basically, his company does that. That's why this guy is so knowledgeable, because he has been doing this for like donkey years. But here's the thing, all right? I just want to also do a quick shout out, Nizar, if I may, to talk about our future collaboration about the training that we're going to do.
Sure.
Yeah, hopefully in June, all right? Hopefully in June, Nizar is going to work with, our community to teach our community how to use Google Analytics. GA4 particularly, especially. Something that I can never wrap my mind around that seriously. I can't understand these things. It's my brain cannot function with that, So I really need help. So if you guys want to really understand, because Google Analytics has become very important too, because somehow, Facebook ads data, ads manager, the numbers are no longer very accurate, because they lost a lot of attribution data, especially. So if you want to truly understand the movement of your audience, especially on your own website and your mobile apps, Google Analytics and especially GA4 is a very important tool that you have to master. So if you guys are interested in this, watch out to our announcement in hopefully in June, and we're going to do this together, right? Nice. Now, since we have been talking about this for 35 minutes right now, before you go, Manfred, I would like to ask this very important question. Can we see?
Yes, I was about to ask that too.
Yes, we can.
Yeah, I just hope to see how it works and what it is all about, right? Guys, are you guys looking to see as well?
Like, allowed to share screen, Jason?
Yeah, let me share my screen.
Yeah. I think Nizar is allowed to share screen.
We talk so much about GDS, but not showing.
Yeah, I thought until I can fly, like I don't even know what the hell is that. Seriously,
Wow was.
Okay, so as you can see right now, this is basically Google Data Studio, right? It starts on a blank, literally a blank canvas.
Well, you start with blank, it's like totally tutorial already, man, guys.
So that's something very interesting, right? So literally you can add your own charts, if you can see from here.
I just swallow the red pill now.
Yeah, so you just have to just pull it inside and then just click and drag. You can do your different colors. So there's a lot of things that you're able to do in.
This is really like Power BI.
So yeah, so you're literally starting on a blank slate, to be honest with you guys, right? But what I want to show you also is that because of the fact that Google Data Studio is very easy to learn, it's extremely easy to learn, right? And as like how all Google data products, in fact, Google products, easy to learn but difficult to master. But I can assure you guys, every one of you all, the minute you see how it's done, and the best part is there's a lot of templates out there, right? Very interesting templates like this. As you can see, Data Studio has a plethora of reporting structures, reporting templates, which you're able to quickly use them.
E-commerce also.
Yep. So even the
Powerful.
marketing templates.
Wow.
Yeah. So there's a lot of templates which you can really start up on the get-go. The minute you go inside, you sign up. It's all, again, it's free, guys. Yeah, it's free. Come on to the Google Data Studio, just log it in into your Gmail address, and boom, you can be able to get avail to all of these brilliant, compelling looking dashboards, right? And one of the best things about starting, like how I've shared with you guys, like something on a clean slate, right? Basically, you're creative, you can let your creative roam loose, right? One of the things which really caught my eye when I was playing with Data Studio the first time was when I saw this great looking dashboard. It doesn't even look like a dashboard. It looks more like an infographic, right? But if you mouse over, you're able to select, whoa, and you click on it, you're able to give you specific insights. So it basically tells you a story, what happened to M. Night Shyamalan, one of the directors, right? And you can even go to next pages. So you can have visualizations. So literally you can put in stories. So when you actually approach your reporting, suddenly the reporting becomes a little bit more alive, a little bit more like not the generic dashboards where you can have all of the usual pie charts and all this. You can literally tell a story, right? So you can see from here, you're able to click on filters, you're able to click on all these elements, and we'll see what exactly. You can even progressively write all of your insights inside here. So when you send to your clients, boom, everything is just straight up. They just have to click next and see, okay, this is how it works, right? Or I can able to even click on some of these elements here. Okay, I'm not sure why I can click on some of this, because this is quite an old dashboard, to be honest with you, right? But what it does is it actually gives us a lot of interesting ways of how things are being done. So even the title itself.
Where is this data being imported from? Just curious.
So this is all on the cloud. So what happens is when it imported from also, I would say, there you go. So they have got some of the data source from
I
this.
see.
They're taken from
crap.
spreadsheets, right? They're taken from spreadsheets, and then they will put it inside, and they just overlay it with all these very nice graphics, right? And then you're able to actually put it in, and you can able to see, you can mouse over, this is how much they grow, the best and the worst, right? You can even put in filters, right? So it's something, what I would say, very, very interactive, right? You're able to see how he actually won. So it's basically, again, good data storytelling. GDS is just one of the platforms you can use for this, but it makes things very easy for us, right? Because of the fact that you can literally put inside here, right? And so one of the things which I also saw, which I want to share with you guys also, right? Like something like this, like Anthony Bourdain's Travels and Tribulations, right? Rest his soul, right? I mean, but the fact of the matter is this, that they're able to even come up with very specific visualizations on how actually it works, right? And where exactly his travels are coming in. So again, when you have a good story, you have a good amount of data, in fact, any data you can use, you're able to actually come up with, it just basically boils down to your imagination, right? What exactly you can use and how you can actually go about doing this. The marketing templates, as you can see from here, right? These are some of the things which the Data Studio team has come up with, right?
You need Facebook one.
You're able to see how exactly they do platform comparisons, right? So this is what a sample DV360 account summary, right? Okay, we don't see any data here. That's interesting, right? I can use my own data.
But guys, this is our website of the week. We don't even need,
That's it, man.
whatever. This is the deep dive into the website of the week. But is there anything about Facebook? I mean, if we...
yes. Let me see.
This is like PowerPoint on steroids.
Yeah, man. You're building this thing using the data, and it changes over time.
I do have some Facebook stuff here, but let me see if we can pull it up. Right, Data Blue. So this is one of the third-party data sets, right? You can come up with, right? So you can see from here.
Right.
So ad visibility, ad acquisition, ads conversion, right? All the costs inside here. So they have all this Data Blue. Data Blue is one of the third-party data connectors I was talking to you about. So when they come up with this, you can even put your filters in, what type of campaigns you're running, right? You can put your audience and stuff like that. What's the audience you're looking at, right? What's the country breakdown, right? Again, it's beautiful, it's nice, it's good, it's very actionable. You're able to see straight what exactly it is. You're able, within 3 seconds, guys, you're able to literally tell you guys a story and, okay, what should I do next, right? And you can look at templates in the time. One of the days when client will call you up and says, hey, can I have data from this to that? Like, okay, sorry, let me pull that out for you. You have to, there's a whole chain of processes you need to go about doing this.
Totally can relate.
Yeah, in
100%.
here, boom, you don't have to do anything. Just mouse over and you're able to see it from here, right? So those are the things which Again,
This can be live, right, Nizar?
this is definitely live. Yeah, it can be live, yes.
Right.
You can even pull it from spreadsheets if you want, but more often than not, I would highly implore go directly the real-time API, because that's what Google Data Studio, and that's what all data visualization tools are good at, getting real-time APIs. Not real-time, but almost real-time, right?
Yeah.
It's good enough for all of us here. So we can be able to see how exactly our campaigns performing.
Right.
Within 15
Just
minutes.
a quick one, a
Yeah.
quick one, Nizar. Seriously, would you be able to specifically design something for Facebook ads? I think, let me check with Chiwa. You want to buy that or not? To actually replace your, buy that. Seriously, Nizar, we're going to design that, and he's going to teach you how to use that, connect and all that, and even to teach you how to customize so that you are no longer using the conventional reporting tool. Now you can actually wow your client by saying that, nah, I give you a bloody damn link, go and play yourself.
Yes.
Now, Chiwa say, of course, so that your reporting can be easier.
Yep.
Okay.
So a bit of background, because Facebook
business opportunity. Let's do this for sure.
a lot of things, things hidden from us. We are unable to see a lot of things recently.
Technically, you can label the reports already.
Definitely, we can definitely do this, because that's what we do for our clients, right? Unfortunately, I can't share them any of the clients.
Of course.
Yes, totally understand.
But usually what they want is they like their corporate colors. So we work along the corporate colors, so everything's consistent. You have a logo on the other side, and then we'll have all of these elements inside, and all the corporate elements. But at the same time, also we try to negate as much as they want it to look like a reporting where it has all of these elements. We want it to be very focused also, right? So we want to ensure that the ratio to their visuals to their analytics to their visuals to their text is also done in a very good ratio. So the minute they say it, again, 3 seconds, you're able to understand what exactly it is. And we break down to the primer, and then followed by the body copy, and then followed by the descriptive. So that's how actually we do it.
Designing. But you are saying, because Facebook reporting template also sucks anyway. And he said it's wall of columns for Facebook reporting, no point. And Richard was saying reporting is where all of us waste most of time, and it's not billable. Totally get it. So guys, watch out. Let me work with Nizar and see how we can actually come up with something together alongside with GA. GA is another thing then. So this is really specifically for report building.
Very much for report building. And again, whatever I'm sharing with you guys, right? It's all out there. Some of the people like Supermetrics. Supermetrics is one of the very prominent third-party data players when it comes to template, right? So they don't not only do Google Data Studio, they do Excel spreadsheets and the works, right? But they have some very fascinating templates also, which you can be able to use and purchase, right, from them out, right? At the same time also, what you're seeing is very specific to Facebook ads. But just imagine this, guys. You're able to see on your left-hand side, your Google ads, your Facebook ads, and then maybe your Instagram ads. And then below here, you're able to see your websites, right? So in just one particular page, you're able to see the whole end-to-end from how you're actually performing, right? So it becomes very almost to the point where it's automatic and it's very robotic, right? So you're able to understand. So you just come in here, just do your analyzing, and that's it, right? So, and you don't have to worry about anything else. And so because a lot of times, time is a big commodity for everyone, right? And that's what we really want to cut off and optimize everyone's time, so that the minute they see it, okay, let's do the changes, let's do the optimization and so forth. So this is some of the things which we help advise our clients when it comes to visualization, right?
Jason, now we know why you are so expensive. Yes, Andrew, you're saying
there's even a template for YouTube channel report.
Oh yes.
Oh,
let me just share with you guys.
YouTube channel report.
Right.
Well,
so
I was trying to look for a template for emails. I
Yeah.
don't have, unfortunately.
But YouTube have, oh, okay.
YouTube got a YouTube channel report.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's
let
cool.
me just pass you guys. There is definitely
It's there. I'm just looking at it now.
I was thinking if we use GDS to digital marketing world, so will there be more analysts who are doing Power BI tablet move over to do digital marketing dashboarding? Likely, there's analysts who use Power BI and do for other like businesses dashboarding. So I think some of them might move over to do for digital marketing.
Very likely they will have both lah. They will serve GDS. It's the same skill sets.
Yeah, that's true. Because sometimes, most often than not, because sometimes if their platform is very highly customized and they need a lot more resources to create a data connector, then they might already use something which is already prevalent on their proprietary platforms. Most of
Absolutely.
them, you'll have all of those inside. But again, the beauty of it is when we try to unify all of this, right? So that's the thing which we can see it from here. Yeah.
It would be nice to have a class on this, where how you connect the data, how you build the base design and all those things, because the value is when you plug in all this data and suddenly you see, whoa, all the charts coming, although it's not as nice as this. I mean, these are experts, but still.
So Nizar, you have a lot of classes to teach.
Yeah, so that's just something very interesting, because a lot of our clients also they don't really know what they
Absolutely
see, right?
It's consolidated, because if I look at Facebook ad performance,
right,
and then I'm running ads on Google Ads and Google search, and I cannot see what's the relevance of this, and each one has a different set of what. But when you put into this, and the fact that being an agency, you have so-called, you can create a white label kind of report, and you just share with them. Basically they can have their own dashboard. If they like, put on a stupid TV and broadcast it straight away. That's it.
And we even have done like because Google being Google, they have some very fantastic maps also, so we can literally see where exactly people are coming from. Sometimes we just want, in this, can we just create a map? We want to see where our users are coming from, and we want it to be, broadcasted on our TV dashboard. So sure, no problem. So I just literally create a specific map for them, and they're able to see different colors, and there's a joy with some of them, because then again, it's very vanity, right? But again, you can able to see from specific stories you can tell, all the way to very much performance metrics, right? So again, very, very robust, very flexible. So you can literally start again on a blank sheet. It's like a PowerPoint. Literally, the world is your oyster. You can just put in, start dumping everything inside, start to put in all the information inside. You can mix and match, don't worry.
Question. Okay, Manfred, go ahead first.
Just curious, any attribution one that you can see both Google and Facebook together in terms of to a website, who is contributing the traffic now?
Yes, we can. So we can definitely pull out some of the sources, right? So that's a very interesting question, Manfred, you brought. One of our clients actually wanted that already, right? So what we did was also, we actually created very specific visuals for that, right? So it's literally like a funnel, right? And we have very
template.
So we had to create it from scratch, right? And be able to see that whole flow is. We even put pictures of their websites also. So it becomes, because their CEO is a very visualized person, right? So they will say, okay, my website brought in this amount of traffic. Oh, this is my Facebook fan page. We took a screen cap of Facebook fan page and put in very specific attributions, where the sources are coming from, how exactly it's been linked. So whenever they create an ad, they will just have to click on this. Okay, this is when my ads are coming in. So when I spend X amount of monies, this is the amount of users coming in. Straight away, they're able to see it, right? They're just clicking on the specific buttons, and as well as doing the date range. Because we've combined, it's not a lot of data sources, to be honest, just 3 data sources: the Facebook ads, the Google ads, and then the GA data sets. With those 3 data sets, it's enough for the client to say, oh, okay, which means that my Facebook ad is working. Oh, wait a minute, how about the creatives? Oh yes, we can be able to pull out very specific creatives also, because Google Data Studios is a really interesting visualization of a heat map. They're able to come up with a very specific heat map. They can pull in very specific creatives also, right? And you're able to see what sort of post is giving you is giving you the best traction, best engagement in that sense. We look at that, and then we can even create the sentiments chart also below, right? We can see the like, love, share, the reaction scores. From that, also we're able to gauge some sort of sentiments also, how exactly people are posting, right? So those are the things. So what we do is we just basically look at how Facebook is, look at the Facebook insights. We know that there's some metrics coming out. How do we visualize it to our own expectations? Then after we're able to see, okay, it's literally like saying, like, I still have this glass half empty, but what I see is half full, right? So that's what actually is.
When you mention heat map, you are just describing it. GDS do not provide heat map, right?
No, GDS does provide that. Yeah, so it does provide all this.
Recording of the video of the user behavior?
Oh, no, not that kind of heat map. It's more on the table heat map. So based on values, based on conditions.
Okay.
I think the higher numbers and heat, right? Yeah.
Don't get too excited. Don't get too excited. But it's already very powerful. It's already very powerful.
Yes, Andrew, you got questions?
Oh yeah, Andrew's question.
Oh, so for somebody like me and Jason, consider absolute noob. What sort of time frame does it take for us to be able to learn and generate some basic, just to set expectations?
I see.
to set some basics GDS reports. 5 days, 1 week, 2 weeks.
I think, to be honest, it's just hours, to be honest with you guys. You just need to identify the metrics you want. You can, because it doesn't have to be pretty for now, right?
Yeah, not pretty like
Just
just
becoming later, right? The formatting, everything can be later.
of course.
But you're just looking at it's tricky. What metrics am I very, very concerned for? What is relevant to me? So you just choose that metrics, put in the specific visualizations, choose the visualizations wisely. So those are the things which we will definitely be teaching you guys, and also, in fact, telling you guys what exactly visualizations to use for which metrics, right?
Yep.
And thereafter, you're able to straightly look into just building it up. In fact, because of the way how Google Data Studio is designed, using templates, you can even go by minutes then, right? You're just basically taking that template out, connecting to the data source. Let's say if it's Google Analytics, boom, that's it. Because it become minutes when it has all Google products. Obviously, it'll be a little bit longer if it's coming from Facebook or coming from other platform, third party, because you have to purchase all that. And then, but once you purchase it, the step-by-step instructions is extremely easy. The thing which we need to understand is that where the time and resources comes in board is what metrics you want to use to visualize it, right? And how exactly it creates this story, right? Because there's hundreds of metrics. They're going to give you tons of metrics. So which one are you looking at? Which one exactly is vanity? Which one is exploratory? Which is lagging? Which is leading? All those indicators, we want to have all of those elements inside there. But what exactly is suffice? That is the thing which only you will be able to understand. But what we can do as Supervision also is to also make sure that you guys have that understanding of their business objective. Then after that, we'll follow down and flow it through the dashboard itself.
I see.
But
okay.
To come up to tell me how do I start it and how easy it is, it's very fast. Again, very easy to learn, guys. Pull some of the data sets out and you can be able to visualize it. Okay, so this is how it's like, right? And then you can start doing your formatting, background, the colors.
Yeah, the so-called the
aesthetic comes later.
Aesthetics, right? So those are the things which I would say will come secondary. Right now, we just need to understand how exactly it comes.
Wow, this is fascinating. I'm trying to connect to or whatever data that I have. Probably later on, I'm just going to play with it. I just want to push another question, Nizar. Like, since it looks like this is really fun, and I think Andrew asked one very important question, which is like, how long, does it really require anyone to learn from scratch like me? Then the next question here would be, I mean, when you're saying that this is so powerful, is there any so-called, like weaknesses that we may not be able to achieve? Like what we can't achieve with Google Data Studio?
That's a very interesting question. Yeah, the weaknesses, right?
I mean, as in, like, if you can compare to other players, that also works. If you want to actually go from the angle of like probably the challenges, as in like based on your experience, in what kind of situation Google Data Studio may not be able to help.
Can I add on the question? As in, analysts are not digital marketeers. Digital marketeers are not analysts. What's something they can do but we can't do? Maybe they have a lot of experience sorting all the data and doing all this thing. So I think you have more experience than us. Are you able to share some light in that area or something like that?
In terms of the data analysis, because one of the things which for Google Data Studio, I mean, because it's always online, right? So you need to be connected to the internet, right? So that's the thing which sometimes, oh my goodness, sometimes when the internet gets wonky,
I realize they don't have mobile app.
Yeah, that's right. So they don't have that, right? So there's nothing. I mean, so far as the last I checked, everything we need to be online to actually do it, right? Unless if you're on flights, or I mean, if you are offline, if you're on the beach, you're trying to do up some visualization. That's going to be quite a challenge, because
let's try not bring
how you work offline. I believe, right? I might be wrong, because there might be some new updates and happenings, right? Depending on when we're going to watch this video, right? But so far to date, I've not seen. I've not seen an offline version of Google Data Studio so far. Always have to be online to make sure that everything's done correctly. Another challenge bit is that it also has limitations on the number of data sources at any point of time, right? Though the experience is getting better, right? Anytime you do it more than 5, then it gets slightly lagging, right? But usually we don't really combine 5 or 7, 8 data sources in one page, right? Very rare that happens, right?
Should be sufficient.
And most 4, and maximum I try is 5, right? But I didn't see any performance lag in that sense, unless, again, if you're talking about big data, you need to make it real time as much as we can, talking about hundreds and thousands of users. Yes, there will be some slight performance impact, right? But Google being Google, they'll definitely channel the resources to ensure that that doesn't happen, right? Or even if it happens, it's very rare, right? So those are the things which I would say would have done an impact, or shall I say the weakness of Google Data Studio per se, right? At the same time also, as much as I say it's easy to learn, right? There will be some instances where you need to also understand understand how the data connector works. Because one of the key things is to understand how exactly this Google Data Studio is talking to the other platform itself, right? So that requires a little bit of technical know-how. So that's one of the challenges. So sometimes you need to call in a developer to say, hey, what exactly is this happening? Why is this not showing out the data is supposed to come out? Usually 85 to 90% data will always be flowing through. But once in a while, sometimes the data doesn't flow through. Then you're like, okay, what's happening here, right? So then you have to call in some of your people who are a bit more in tune with the programming language, so that you can able to understand what happens in data connector. But purchase it from a third party, more often there's support to help you guys, right?
Yeah, makes sense.
Hey, no, don't worry, this is what it is, right? Just do a refresh and then your data will be up and running, right? So those are the
I interrupt a bit. So let's say example, we put 3 connectors and one of them failed. Say that something happened, with it who cannot connect. The whole report will still be able to run based on the other 2 sources, except for some blanks here and there.
Yes, correct. So you still need to run all the time. Yeah. So just the ones which is affected. Well, so it will not like say the whole thing and then show a little dinosaur, like how Google does it, right? No, it doesn't have that, right?
You just one of the curve doesn't come out, one of the way.
You'll just show one blank, gray color blank and says like, something went wrong. Please check on it. So you just have to click on it and then just go inside the data source and try to troubleshoot from there, right? So those are the things which is quite
new world.
Yeah, man. But again, guys, those things are rare, right? To be honest with you, from all my years playing with Data Studio, I mean, if you we also have hygiene practices when we do our Data Studio, right? So we make sure that all the data sets is done correctly, because it's very easy. But Google likes to do a lot of searching, right? They want you to search their data connectors. Sometimes you tend not to do proper naming conventions. Everything is the same web name, same data source, same, right? Then you'll be like, oh, which one is it, right? So some of the things you got to make sure that you have proper naming conventions, you employ basic data hygiene practices, right? Naming conventions. If you have that all in place, I think it's going to be quite a seamless affair for you, especially when you are talking to multiple clients and administrating for multiple clients also. Yeah.
Perfect. Wow. This is really like mind blown. Seriously, so much we can do now. Because you scratched the surface about Google Data Studio in our last episode. You appeared in the 3 Marketeers show. But I actually forgot to spend a little bit more time to dive into that. What I did was only to create an account, then that's it. Forgot to do it. But now, because of this session, I managed to dive in and I can see a lot of possibilities, like especially the fact that you say you can actually design your own thing based on, because the importance is really about what you want to see. As long as you are very clear, because for my case, like for example, I know what are the data I need to pull out from my campaign. To use my way of analyzing, you need to actually pull this kind of chart, and it's really a challenge to some of my clients, because it actually takes a bit of time to pull the data manually to put it into the the format I want. So this probably can help. And I think one of the good thing that we did just now is we very validated the idea where if we want to create a course with this and together with a template to help agencies or marketers out there to really learn how to create customized reports to your clients. I guess this could be something that we can really work together and share with the community as well.
Absolutely.
And because of the fact that, to be honest, I've been in advertising for quite a while already. And I always hated reporting. It's never an easy task, guys.
1000% agree.
So most of us just cringe just at the thought of, oh my God, it's end of the month. It's that time of the month again.
It's the worst nightmare.
Even you are a salary man, you also hate reporting.
So I mean, if you are anything like me, like you're just tired of spending hours updating that same report, same spreadsheets every month, every week against week, and you're spending more time pulling a report rather than providing actual insights, then and then a data visualization tool like Google Data Studio would be really godsend, I would say, right?
Definitely.
Because literally you can just pull this out and you can just do a fire forget. Because the fact of the matter is this, it can also in the event, let's say if you want like, oh, but Nizar, I still need to write my reports on it. Sure, no problem. It allows you to do that, right? So what I do for my clients, so like they will have all of the usual metrics on top, right? The metrics and everything. Below there, I just put in insights from whatever the client, and we just type it in, right? Okay, so this is what we have done. We found out, okay, for this particular report, as you can see on this date, there's a spike. This is because of this. You can literally type everything there. And then you don't even have to click save. Google automatically saves it for you, right?
Yeah. It becomes a commentary as opposed to reporting.
Yes, commentary. And then, so literally you don't have to even have any baseline. And most clients will just give you a quick call. Hey, just to double check this data. Is it okay? Yeah, it's fine. Okay, thank you very much. Done. It's done. They can literally take that same report for the client and then present it to the upper management. How great is that? You're not just doing a service for yourself, you're doing a service for your client also, right? Yeah. So that's something where it stems out from a pain point. That's the reason why I said, okay, what are the other tools out there you can use, right? So
awesome.
That's why GDS came into my life and has never left me ever since.
Perfect. Thank you so much for the sharing tonight, Nizar. Despite the hiccups at the very beginning, I hope this episode serves as a very, very good motivator for every one of us to really start looking at how Google Data Studio can help us improvise, especially the reporting and really the reporting and dashboarding part of the task, which is real pain in the ass for any agencies and marketers. Right. And you guys should actually go for just do whatever, and of course play with it. Come to a point. If you need help, then let me go and chase after Nizar to come up with something to really like teach you guys. And then CY is already saying need the date for the course, announce it soon. Definitely. I mean, that's something that we're gonna do together soon. Yeah. But really thanks again, Nizar, for joining us. And this is really a very powerful session. We're gonna actually put this back to YouTube because we can only go live on Facebook right now using Zoom. There's only one platform. So let me do that later on, and nonetheless come back to this and of course start playing on Google Data Studio on your own. Basically just to do whatever you can and come back to Nizar's course and
if you want to connect with Nizar, the comment section, look up for his LinkedIn, and then basically send him a connection request.
Yes, just go over and catch up. All right, so that's it. This is what we have for
now. You got me excited.
Yeah. Sleep. Make sure you sleep. Then tomorrow when you can do a thing, else you'll be like diving in and probably it's 3 a.m. in the morning.
We've been dreaming about this, guys. Trust me.
Man.
About it, right?
Awesome. Right. Thank you so much, Nizar. Thanks for joining us. And
thanks, guys.
Let's come back to the backstage in a bit. And guys, this is a 3 Marketer Show. This is episode 86. Thank you so much for watching. This is what we do on every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Malaysia time. See you next week for another
14 more episodes before we hit the big 100.
Yeah, man. We're hitting 100 real soon. All right. Okay. All right. So that's it. Thanks, Nizar. And good night, everyone.
Thank you for having me.
Good night.
Have a good day, guys.
Bye-bye.